Dubai's glamour or London's legacy? Indians are choosing their dream global address where the heart truly desires. Are you also looking to stamp your name on a global address? Then you have tuned into the right place. Hi everyone, welcome to Realty Returns powered by 99acres.com. I am Nandita Khemka, and in today's episode, we are diving into the world of foreign real estate investments and the incredible perks they offer. Still deciding where to buy a home? Europe, the UK or the Middle East? Not sure about the costs involved? Whether you're buying your first overseas home or an HNI looking to expand your property portfolio, we have got you covered. But first, let's explore the top international hotspots attracting Indian investors and find out the return potential they hold. Take a look. As more and more Indians build their wealth, their real estate investments are moving overseas. In destinations like Dubai, London, New York City, and Greece, property market players and developers have noticed a rise in inquiries and bookings. This trend includes both resident Indians and NRIs. Real estate experts point to higher yields compared to India as a key factor. They also note the appeal of permanent residency and golden visa programs in countries like the UAE, Qatar, Greece, Cyprus, and Malta. According to data from the Reserve Bank of India, resident Indians sent over $25 million abroad in the month of September alone to buy properties. In financial year 2023-2024, Indians remitted over $242 million to purchase overseas properties under the RBI's liberalized remittance scheme, up from $189 million in the previous financial year. Dubai remains a top destination for Indian property buyers, thanks to its proximity to the subcontinent and a large Indian diaspora. According to real estate consultants Westian, Indians have cumulatively invested $335 million across 123 projects, citing data from Dubai's land department. Experts estimate the average investment in a Dubai property to be in the range of 4 to 4.5 crore rupees. Dubai also offers the much sought-after golden visa, granting 5 to 10 years of residency to those who invest at least 2 million dirhams or around 4.5 crore rupees. And with hundreds of new developments coming up in both residential and commercial segments, observers say that investors are actively seeking opportunities. Real estate consultants JLL estimates that over 1 lakh apartments and villas will hit Dubai's thriving market over the next 15 months. In other countries, the number of investors pursuing permanent residency through investment programs is rising, particularly in the United States and Greece. According to consulting firm Ekindas, over 1,000 Indians applied for permanent residency in the United States through the EB-5 visa program in the past year. The program requires a minimum investment of $800,000 or around 7 crore rupees and the creation of 10 American jobs. Experts note that Indians are increasingly investing in high-yield commercial properties in the United States as part of this program, which grants permanent residency to the investors and their immediate families. Well, more and more Indians are increasingly setting their sights on international real estate in their quest for higher returns, diversified investments, and even lifestyle upgrades. What's driving this trend, and how can buyers navigate the complexities of international markets to make smart decisions? Well, to answer all these questions and to talk about golden visa benefits, financing options, as well as investment hotspots, we are joined by an esteemed panel of experts. Joining me is Chintan Vasani, who's the founder partner, WiseBiz Realty, right here in the studios. We also have Akash Puri, Director International at India Sotheby's International Realty, as well as Nishant Agarwal, Managing Director at Avigna Group. Gentlemen, great to have you right here on the show Realty Returns. Coming to you first, Chintan, Indians are, looking at real estate abroad, in the quest for better returns, diversifying their portfolios, as well as even lifestyle upgrades, right? Tell us, first of all, how different is it to, buy a property abroad, and is there a specific checklist one should follow?
I think buying property anywhere in the world, it is very similar. You have to first understand what you are buying. You have to understand what is working in that particular market, and then enter into an investment. So, but of course, when you say you are buying a property outside your country, everything changes. You have to do more research. You have to understand what is working. You have to make sure what are the additional cost also. The property comes at X, but the maintenance of the property, that is also important. The closing cost makes a lot of difference. And there is off plan, like under construction. So you have to understand what is the legacy of the real estate developer, what kind of projects he has delivered, and when can you actually expect the property getting delivered. And if it is an investment, when will be the first rent check come in your account? Right. So that plays a very big role when you're buying a property anywhere outside India.
So in India, typically what we do is we get in touch with a broker and then we go around looking for properties.
Right.
Is it the same for international realty, or do you have to have more people or you need to consult more people to actually make a decision?
I would suggest getting in touch with the channel partner or a broker is super important, but more important than brokers, I would say there are two very important people. One is a chartered accountant in your country and also in the country where you are investing. Because understanding the tax implications to you when you are taking the money out of the country, and once you will make profits, if
right.
Everything works out good, you want to get those money back in the country just in case. You have to understand what would be the tax coming on the rental income or the capital gain that would attract to you in your country if you're coming back to India.
Right.
So after a broker, the most important person is getting in touch with a chartered accountant and a lawyer.
Right.
And any top destination that you see around the world, there are chartered accountants of Indian origin who have offices in all the continents. So you can always get in touch with them to understand your investment better.
Well, in terms of demand, Akash, coming to you, which is the hottest destination right now? Would it be Dubai, Europe, or US? Which markets are attracting HNIs and ultra HNIs, and how are property prices evolving in the wake of high demand?
Well, I was reading a report by the MEA, and that talks about that there are about approximately 35 million Indians who live outside India, and we're the largest diaspora amongst any that lives outside the country, with about 2.5 lakh, migrating on a yearly basis, right? So their demand would then move towards the kind of places Indians are looking to migrate to for the reasons they're going. Some are doing it for tax benefits, some are doing it for setting up business offices, some are doing it for their children's education and helping them move forward there. And couple of tried and tested markets that are popular. Of course, US is a large country. A lot of people are looking at US. The new president of the United States of America has a background in real estate. We expect the real estate to automatically do better there. People are looking at Dubai for the tax residency. Also in terms of ease of travel to India and be able to live overseas and be a short distance away. London has always been the top favorite. The largest amount of Indians actually like to invest in London. We're culturally tied to the UK. The Indians are one of the top investors in the real estate in the UK, and London also is a good hub for travel across Europe, also for studies for the children. So a lot of parents look at picking up assets for the kids there.
All right, now taking this point forward, Nishant, coming to you, of course, Dubai is among the top choices for various reasons, be it proximity, excellent infrastructure, world-class amenities, lifestyle upgrades, and so on and so forth. But is it more feasible compared to, say, Europe? How much would an investor require to buy a property in Dubai vis-a-vis some of the other European countries, or even US for that matter?
As far as the demand for real estate from Indians investing in Dubai goes, it's been a very, very attractive market for them because it's geographically very close by. It's not been typically as expensive as the UK has been. There are a lot of opportunities coming up. So, given the weather conditions also, so it's typically been a very, very attractive market for Indians to invest in Dubai. Now, and besides that, if you look at the number of Indians locating to Dubai of late because of various reasons, it could be relocation due to work, due to business. It's also very, very tax friendly. So from those perspectives, a lot of people have opted to move to Dubai and invest in real estate in Dubai. Um as compared to Europe, because in Europe of late has not been doing too well, and there are a lot of issues due to the ongoing war, due to other issues within their economy. So I feel that Indians uh, have not been favoring buying as much in Europe as they had in the past.
Right. In terms of areas, Akash, which are the areas one should look at in terms of investment in Dubai for rental income? Should one look at tourist hubs like Dubai Marina or downtown Dubai? And what are the other factors that one must consider while investing in Dubai?
So, when it comes to Dubai, it's very important to be in a destination where the price would remain stable or improve in the future. Uh, the higher the yield, the lower your capital appreciation. It is usually rental yield, the higher the rental yield, the lower your capital appreciation. That's generally how it is done, right? I would always recommend the tried and tested areas such as downtown Dubai, Business Bay. All of these areas landlocked. You can't keep expanding it and you can't keep growing, increasing the number of apartments on either side of it. So stable, yields you'll get there. You'll get properties that are already completed, something that you can touch and feel and see, as opposed to investing in something that is in the future. And stability is something that we always advise to our clients.
I think it's important to understand what an investor's objectives are. So if once you define what the objectives are, because there are investors of various categories. Some are looking for stable yields. Some are looking to have more capital appreciation, and are willing to take higher risk. So I think it's very important to identify what the objectives of the investment are, and then decide on which area is most suitable for them.
Purely for rental yield, if one has to invest, is Dubai the most favored? Akash, coming to you for this. What kind of rental yields could one expect from Dubai vis-a-vis other nations, even UK for that matter?
Yeah. So central London can give you a yield of about 3.5%. If you're looking in New York, you could also look at yields up to about 4%. Miami would give you similar returns. Dubai can give you anywhere between 6 to 8% yield in a luxury residential project. And our clients, depending on their risk appetite and the amount they would like to invest, choose amongst these three destinations when they come and ask us for advice for the same.
Chintan, coming to you, I read a report which said that over 1 lakh apartments and villas are entering Dubai's market in the next 15 minutes,
Right.
15 months, so to say. Could this oversupply depress rental yields or property values? What are your thoughts on that?
So I would say I also read a report a few days back. The Dubai population is going to double in next 10 years. Right now I have a lot of friends, a lot of businesses who are connected with us. They are finding it very difficult to look for offices. People who are working in their office are having a hard time negotiating rents because rentals are going up.
Right.
So I don't think even if you study what are the property available, rentable properties or people who can actually buy a home. Right now there is a shortage of flats who would want it on rent. So next 10 years is something, if things are going the same way, understanding the economic agenda of a country is super crucial. So Dubai or UAE, because Dubai is around 20% of the GDP of UAE. Now Dubai is not just the only market. There is Ras Al Khaimah, there is Abu Dhabi, which is like the biggest market when you consider the GDP of UAE. So I don't think there might be if everything works out good, there would be a stable people coming in who would want to buy a home, or who would want to buy a home and then rent it out.
Right.
So I don't see that happening.
Okay, interesting point. Coming to you, Nishant, should investors diversify investments across various regions and not focusing on one market if they are looking for diversification? What are your views, and how should one go about building a real estate investment portfolio, so to say? Which areas would you focus on?
I think it's very important to identify what the investment size is, and then one has to decide on how many geographies they want to deal with. It's very easy to, on paper, say that I'm going to deal with 5 geographies, but is that practically possible? Because now, if you decide to work in Europe, if you decide to work in Dubai, if you decide to work in Singapore, just for as an argument's sake, you have to be prepared to deal with 3 time zones. You're prepared to deal with multiple agents. You're dealing with collections. You're dealing with property taxes. You're dealing with upgrades. So, I mean, I think it's very important to be focused and understand one market well. That's at least my view on it. And of course, after a certain point, you have to start diversifying. I mean, and that all depends on what the investment size is. And of course, there are other factors such as currency risk and what the growth potential or the economic objectives of that country are. So, keeping those things in mind, I think it's important to identify which geographies one wants to participate in.
Okay, Akash, in terms of rental yields, would you say Dubai, Europe, US? Of course, as you mentioned that with the new president coming in who has a real estate background, do you expect more inquiries to come in for US henceforth going forward? How are you viewing it, and what kind of rental yields are can one make from Dubai vis-a-vis US? Which one would you pick?
We had a meet in Hyderabad where the focus had changed from Dubai to US because of the reasons that I just shared with you earlier. However, it's a very personal decision. Not everybody wants to take a flight for 15 hours and have an asset there. Some people are comfortable investing closer to home, Dubai being, let's say, from Delhi, about a 3.5 hour flight, right? Also, in terms of the fact, what is one looking out from that investment, both are good markets. Even the AED is a dollar denominated currency. So the reasons to invest, are not just for owning an asset, but also currency diversification, the capital appreciation one can expect, that is important. What is the quantum of supply in the market? Is there a shortfall? Will my will the property appreciate faster in which market? These are the kind of questions that come to one's mind. What is the stamp duty? What will be the tax on the capital appreciation when I sell the property? How easy would it be to move the funds? Affordability of the property. Will I be able to buy the property within the LRS limits? So, a lot of these factors actually play an important role in deciding. So this is really much of a personal choice.
Sure. Let's also talk about one more factor that plays a very important role in making a decision to invest overseas. That's residency, right? Chintan, coming to you, many countries offer golden visas, right? Dubai, you have European nations, but most of the European nations are looking at stopping their golden visa programs. Spain being a case in point, and which could kind of slam the brakes on their golden visa program as early as January 2025. So, which of the destinations have better and more flexible golden visa programs? Greece is desired, and even Dubai, it's pretty desirable. So, if you look at that point purely, which destination would you choose? Which one should investors look at?
So, if you only talk about the golden visa, as per my knowledge and the reports that I have gone through, the World Migration Report, which reports about the total millionaires moving out of one particular country and going to some country to set up their entire life again. So, I was very shocked to read about it, there are more than 6,700 millionaires who have already moved in Dubai in the last year.
Okay.
And they are saying this is going to go double in the next year. So if it works out, it's really interesting. But even if 6,000 plus people move to Dubai, millionaires I'm talking about, that would be a huge number.
Right.
Okay. And see, when you say Dubai, Dubai is very small. The size wise, it is like western suburbs of Mumbai. So you always have to compare Dubai with Miami, Dubai with New York, or Dubai with some city, and not just like the entire country. So personally, I feel amongst all the countries for an Indian, Dubai is one of the most preferred destination. And I think that is one of the reason around 3,000 millionaires have moved out of India in the last year, according to the report. And major of them have moved to Dubai,
Right.
which was very different 5 years back when education was one of the most important things for people to move out of a country, diversification, all those other part, but the main thing was education and the future job perspective, which Dubai is offering right now.
Right.
Growing your population twice, the people would need to go out to new hotels, new restaurants. There would be new development coming each and everywhere. So of course, UAE is one of the most preferred destinations.
Right, UAE. And in terms of financing, I would want to ask you, obviously a lot of people say cash is king,
Right.
but for somebody who has to secure a bank loan or mortgage,
Right.
do you think it's easy to get it for UAE, and what's the timeline one should be looking at?
I think it takes anywhere from 30 to 45 days as per my knowledge. But I would always say consult your real estate channel partner, talk with the developer, because the developers in Dubai, they also operate like a bank at times.
Oh,
What
yeah.
what they do is they give you deferred payments.
Developer financing.
Yeah,
that's
so
what you
what
call
they
it.
give you an option of pay you take the you have bought a house, you start living, but you have to pay in next 5 years. It all depends from developer to developer. But before, you can always explore the market more. Go there, stay there for a few weeks, understand what is working, and always go in the economic agenda and DLD, the Dubai Land Department. They give about what new developments are coming in each market.
Right.
So, just follow those developments, understand what is gonna, the new airport is coming up in next few years. So, for sure, the areas around that have to grow. So, understanding the right market and talking with the developer or with the sales team will help you understand the financing part better.
All right, gentlemen, running out of time, but one final word. If I had to ask each one of you, which one would you prefer right now? Yours is the UAE, Chintan.
No, let me say, the way Indian economy is going right now, only and only if you see something exceptional thing working out of the country, then it makes sense for you to move out. But if you have a good life in India, it makes sense. Even, the gentleman said it's a 3-hour flight and it's a different country. So make sure whatever decision you are making is a sound decision and you have to live with that decision.
Sure. Akash, your vote?
Oh, I'll definitely look at the US. With the mortgage rates coming
The
down,
US.
expected to come down further, there would be more inquiries for the US. And I feel the economy is going to do better. So I'll have my bets in the US.
Sure, of course, the rate cycle has turned there, which is a fair point. And lastly, Nishant, your vote?
See, my view is a little biased because I've been in Dubai for 38 years now. So, I picked Dubai because I think it's I call it the best of both worlds. So you have all the comforts that you have in India, as well as you have the westernization that's there in Europe and America.
Right. So 3 guests. One says, India, Swadesh. One says US, and the third one is Dubai. Well, with that, gentlemen, thanks a lot for taking our time and joining in.
But I'm just saying, if you had to pick, if you had decided to move, then out of Europe, America, and Dubai. So that was my pick.
Sure. Fair point, Nishant. Well, with that, gentlemen, thanks a lot for taking our time and joining in on this episode of Realty Returns. Appreciate your joining in this afternoon. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this episode of Realty Returns. Catch the latest trends, developments, and insights on the real estate market and how it impacts your investment decisions only on Money Control. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.